Hello friends, Brenton here. Today we're going to combine ecotherapy and ritual, and we're going to utilize fire for a release ritual. And this is something that you can do anywhere. You don't need a campfire and you don't need to be in the middle of a national forest to do this. You can do this at home with a candle in a metal bowl or in your backyard. Or you can do it around a fire in a natural setting, which I think gives things more credence and more power. So when we use fire for ritual, for intentional practice, we draw upon fire's innate energy of transformation, of activation, and of purification. So when we use fire for a release ritual, we're utilizing fire's capacity to liberate, to take energy that's maybe stuck or contained inside, and we're letting it release, and we're taking everything else and reducing it to a form that we can use to grow something else instead. So just like fire reduces wood to ash that we can use to fertilize a garden, that's what we're going to do inside today through mental imagery and through physical action. And so that's one of the benefits of utilizing intentional practice or ritual like this is it takes parts of our brains that need to expect and need to control, and it calms them and relaxes them. And when we utilize fire, we also get the benefit of mental relaxation, of a lower blood pressure, of a more clear and open mind, and all the benefits of ecotherapy. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on something that we're ready to release, something inside that maybe is no longer serving us, something that we're ready to let go of. And whatever it is, it can be something physical, right? It can be a relationship, it can be a job, it can be something physical that you're no longer wanting to hold on to. But it can also be something a little more metaphysical. It can be a habit that you're ready to let go of. It can be a belief about yourself or somebody else. It can be attachments to somebody or something or to a way of thinking. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you recognize there's something inside of you that is ready to change, ready to shift. And we're going to engage in an intentional practice that's going to kind of create a line in the sand, like a demarcation point, so that after this, things are going to be different from you. If nothing else, because you said so with intentional, powerful practice. So when we approach fire and we engage it in ritual, the fire bears witness to our choices, to our ceremony. And so the fire will help hold us to that. So it's kind of like we make an agreement with fire as our witness that we are going to be different through this practice. One of my favorite ways to do this, especially if you have a fire outside in the natural world somewhere, is to find an object that represents something that you're ready to release. So whatever it is that you're thinking about offering to the fire, whether it's a habit or it's an attachment or a job or relationship, right? Whatever that is, find something in the natural world that's representative of that. So if you're releasing anger, you could find a really sharp, thorny, pokey stick. If you're releasing a relationship, you can find a flower that represents that. Ideally, we're choosing things that are already on their way toward decomposition. They're already on the ground. They're already, dead. Sometimes if you're doing this and you want to add power, you can do this with pictures or clothing instead. So offering a picture to the fire or offering an article of clothing to the fire, something that burns, ideally something that's non-toxic, right? You don't want to breathe that in and make this ritual a health hazard. But sometimes getting rid of things like that is helpful because we can actually watch a physical representation of it burn and dissolve. And so it doesn't matter, whatever you choose, let there be a resonance inside of you, because there has to be that so that there's a connection with that object that you're going to mindfully release. So today, I have this beautiful little maple leaf here that's dead and dying. It was covered with frost, which is the reason that I got it, because I'm releasing a part of me that feels pretty cold and frosted over. That's ready to melt and move into the stream and go downriver. But this is pretty soggy and pretty waterlogged, and that's how this part of me feels. So whatever your object is, there's one more thing that you can do. If you are having trouble with an object, you can actually take a piece of paper and you can write or draw something that you're going to release. So you can bring an expressive arts element to it. So this is really, there's no wrong way to do this. What matters is that you find some level of intentionality and purpose behind it, and resonance. And I know if you're new to ritual, it can feel kind of silly. It can feel dumb. I felt stupid when I was trying to do some of these things. I felt like I was like a wannabe sorcerer or something, and that's not the case, right? There really is scientific evidence for ritual, but we've been performing ritual and ceremony as humans for as long as we've had 4 brains. So we're tapping into something that our ancestors, and so on have done. This is deeply a part of being human, and our culture is finally recognizing the importance of that again. And so we get to practice it here. So whenever you have your object, you want to either sit in front of your fire or you want to gaze at your candle, whatever your fire is. And you want to take a moment just to connect with the presence of the fire. As with all ritual and ancestor work, you can take a moment to bring in your own guides, your own protectors. If there's any inner beings that you work with, you can invite them to be present and ask for their guidance and protection as you take part in your ritual work. You can invite ancestors to be present as well for the same purpose. And if you don't have any of those inner retinue, or you are unfamiliar with ancestor work, or this stuff all sounds strange or weird to you, you can just skip that part. It's totally okay. But as you're sitting with a fire, let yourself begin to open to the warmth of it, to the light of it. Let your awareness open to the nature of fire and its capacity to liberate, to transform, to both break down and open. And feel yourself begin to make a connection with the fire, almost like there's a link, an energetic kind of bond that reaches between your heart and your belly and the fire. So now, maintaining that connection with the fire, you can take your object in your hands, and I want you to hold it in your hands for just a moment, and I want you to hold it at the place of your belly, that place where your inner fire is. And as best as you can, I want you to host in your mind, in your emotions, in your body, whatever it is that you're ready to release today. Bringing the images of it to mind, memories related to it. As much as you can, feel what it is that you're ready to release. Notice where it shows up in your body as you feel it. Whatever emotions come up, it's okay. You can use your breath to allow them to continue to be present, because the more that you feel with this, the more you will heal with this. Emotion is the key here. And so you can imagine that energy and that emotion and whatever it is that you're releasing moving from your body and your mind into your hands and beginning to infuse this object that represents what you're releasing. Imagine all of that energy in your life, in your mind, in your body, moving into that object in your hands so that there's nothing left inside of you. And when you feel like that object is full of all of that energy, you're going to take it and you're going to offer it to the fire. And I recommend you do it with some type of verbal declaration. I offer this, whatever it is, to the fire. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as you offer it, watch it burn, so that as it burns, you feel it release from your mind, release from your body, release from your life. And once that your offering has completely burned away, take a deep breath in. Exhale. feel the open space that you have inside of you now. If you'd like, you can sit next to the fire for as long as you need. Sometimes I can sit with a fire for hours. If you feel complete, you can move on. I suggest taking a walk, maybe doing some writing. Whatever you do, know that this work is sacred, that it's real, and that it matters. Thank you for joining me today. I wish you peace and healing as you sit next to fire. See you next time.